Okay, this slide and the next slide, this is also from the Recovery Village, and I want to cover this to establish what is the current baseline for the majority of our society's understanding of imposter syndrome currently, whether accurate or inaccurate. So I'm going to go through these 5 types, some of which will be helpful, but we'll also get into some critical evaluation as to why they are also not helpful in how this framing of imposter syndrome is being presented. So, of the 5 types of those who tend to exhibit or experience imposter syndrome, these are them listed with some of the descriptors and downsides essentially. So, the first one, perfectionist. The perfectionist strives to be their absolute best, no matter the cost to their mental health. These individuals may be identified as typical perfectionists who set impossibly high standards for themselves. There's the superhero as the number 2. Superhero often struggles with work addiction. This person may feel inadequate relative to colleagues and continue to push themselves as hard as possible, regardless of the consequences on mental health, physical, and emotional health. Number 3, we've got the natural genius. Not only struggles with perfectionism, but also sets out to achieve lofty goals on their first try. These individuals feel unworthy, guilty, and shameful if they cannot easily complete a task or achieve a goal on the first go. The soloist has extreme difficulties in asking others for help. Perhaps they may feel that others are not as competent as themselves or that they must prove their own worth through their productivity. And finally, number 5, the expert. The expert never feels good enough despite being extremely knowledgeable. This person may feel like they are less experienced than their colleagues if they do not know the answer or have knowledge on certain topics. So these 5 types and the characteristics of them, as well as the downsides presented, there is truth in them, of course. And I myself resonate with several of these types, as I'm sure you do. Where the problematicness comes in is that this is putting the onus entirely on the person in terms of what they're feeling and why they're feeling it, as well as putting the onus on the ongoing effects, the detrimental ongoing effects to their mental, physical, and emotional health. So my problem with the presentation as given by Recovery Village is that while trying to be helpful, they are perpetuating this harmful construct that this is entirely on us who experience imposter syndrome and completely ignores any of the reasons as to why systematically in our infrastructure, as well as any onus or responsibility on the part of anyone else besides us.